Hey, everybody. It's Wendy Harrington with Beacon Creative Lab. I'm hoping that all of the different streams are working. And if you're on Instagram, hello. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, hello to you too. I am kicking off something new, just a sort of an experiment to see how it goes, because, even though we're starting to be back in person, there's just not quite as much interaction maybe as there was once before. And, I'm hoping to get some conversation going. And for me, this is actually a time when I usually take a break in the afternoon. I'm usually, if I'm networking, a lot of times that's in the morning. And then, we got lunch stuff, there's meetings. And, by the time, I'm really like deep into client work and other projects, it's in the afternoon. And so as a routine, 4:00 is about when I stop. And I think that one of the reasons for that is years and years with my parents who were British of stopping for tea in the afternoon. It may not be a lot, but actually my afternoon tea. So I would love to know if you are watching live. I probably can't see you because of the tool that I'm using, but if you're on or you're listening later, let me know what it is that you like to have in the afternoon, and we're going to dive right in. So I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about the first topic that we're going to cover over the next number of days, and that is authority, and how authority connects to your small business and your branding and marketing. I'll start off with a little story back from my early days in the agency business, and I actually came up through the ranks of the agency world, starting with my father's agency. He was a direct marketer. Meaning, selling things through the mail primarily in those days. And he started an agency when I was in like junior high or something like that. And all of his clients came out of the publishing world because that's where his corporate experience had been. So we had some really great companies as clients. We worked with Better Homes and Gardens. We worked with Bantam Books, which was a big publisher, may still be at the time. That's awful. I probably should know that. But, so a lot of really great clients and many, many others as well, and consistently got really good results. He was very smart. The agency was about 20 people or so, and there were really great, talented people there that I learned a ton from. And while we did well and the agency was solid for 20 or 25 years, it wasn't until I left there and, decided to go and spread my wings and work at a big agency, J. Walter Thompson, which is one of the global powerhouses, and still is, and, realized what, at the time I thought maybe it's just because they're so big, they can garner these giant fees. But now looking back on it, and as I've learned things over the years, I realized that a lot of it had to do with their authority in the marketplace. It wasn't that we didn't have great stories to tell in our little small agency, but we didn't have the weight of the marketplace's authority behind us in the same way that this larger entity had. Of course, there are lots of other factors too. But, as we look now at small businesses and the competition we have going on, there certainly is a lot of truth to the fact that you can be really good at what you do and still not be getting the results that you want. And one of the factors that comes to play that I think maybe some people may, I don't know, I guess they may do it naturally, in just the way that they are. Other people do it strategically. But making sure that you have done all of the due diligence that's needed to make sure that everybody around you knows what you do and recognizes your talents, and that everything about the way that you represent your company is in line with that. So what we're going to do over the next few days is just drill into some of the steps, 7 or 8 steps that people can take to really grow the authority for their business. And this isn't a short-term thing. This isn't something, you're not going to go and, go out into the next networking group and just declare yourself the authority on whatever it is that you do. Yes, you can talk about your credentials. Yes, you can talk about your experience, but it takes other people to come to the fore and to be able to say, yep, this person is the one that I'm going to actually put my reputation on the line and endorse and say that they are really good at what they do. And there's lots of things that you can do to help make that be, more successful. And so I want to see what your questions are. I would love to know if there are challenges that you've had in this area, or if there are people who are in your sphere who you recommend regularly, I mean, religiously as as an authority. And how do you make that decision? I'd love to get some conversation going. And so feel free to shoot me your comments and join me next time, which would be 4 o'clock tomorrow, for part 2 of this conversation about authority. And we look forward to seeing you then.